Hello, my name is Jordan Krizik, and here is my EDL 850 case study. Synthesize the facts. St. Regis School, it is a rural school. Serves students grades K through 8. High school students are bused to a larger city 30 miles away. The K through 8 school has 420 students, and there are 2 teachers per grade. For the financial support, it is meager state allocations, but there are 2 large fundraisers, one in the fall and one in the spring, that is usually put on by the school's PTA. Mr. Sample has been the St. Regis principal for the last 3 years. Came to the new district, received feedback that he has more supporters than resistance from faculty and staff. Mr. Sample wants to remain status quo moving forward. Through fundraising, the PTA has bought 20 new computers over the past 3 years, with the sole intent to purchase new software for them for the next 2 years. Mrs. Lin, the library media specialist, prioritized software to the teachers that the teachers needed. Mrs. Lin has also been here a long time. The software was ordered and installed in the computer lab. Teachers wanted the software installed in their classroom computers, so Mrs. Lin ordered blank CDs where she copied the software and put them on blank discs and handed them to the teachers. Mrs. Brandon does not accept Mrs. Lin's CDs, and informs Mrs. Lin and Mr. Sample of the copyright violations on commercial computer programs. Mrs. Lin does not see an issue with this. Problem identification. Mrs. Brandon brought up a problem to Mrs. Lin and Mr. Sample about copyright violations from commercial computer programs. Mrs. Lin sees no problem copying the computer programs and distributing them to the other teachers in the building. The president of the PTA also helped burn the computer program to the CDs with Mrs. Lin. Mrs. Lin is trying to expand as much of the school's money as she can, so she is looking to see that she's wanting the well-being of the students. But this is a problem with copyright infringement. This is not ethical, not right to use someone else's materials as their own, not legal, direct violation of fair use. So what is fair use? Fair use. Does copying the computer program on a blank CD to be distributed to teachers comply with fair use copyright law? Fair use is a legal doctrine that promotes freedom of expression by permitting the unlicensed use of copyright protected works in certain circumstances. Section 107 of the Copyright Act provides this statutory framework for determining whether something is a fair use fair use and identifies certain types of uses. Amount and substantially of the portion used in relation to the copyright work as a whole. Under the factor, courts look at both the quantity and quality of the copyrighted material that was used. If the use includes a large portion of the copyright work, fair use is less likely to be found. So pretty much, Mrs. Lin is violating fair use by using the whole program from the computers. Options and possible consequences. Do nothing and act like Mr. Sample did not know of the actions taking place. So that is an option. A consequence is the corporate computer company may hear about the infringement on the programs, and a lawsuit could occur. Inform staff of copyright infringement. Have Mrs. Lin pick up the distributed CDs. Meet with PTA and continue to do fundraisers for more computer programs. Some consequences may be PTA might not want to do more fundraising. I mean, they feel like they've already taken a lot of money from the community. Staff might see you as someone who does not want the well-being of the students, or with the financial as well. You're just wanting to waste money. You could terminate Mrs. Lin for copyright infringement, making a statement to other teachers. That is an option as well. Some consequences may be staff might view you as a harsh principal, lose respect of the teachers. Best option. I believe to pick up the distributed computer programs from the teachers, inform every staff the importance of copyright laws and policies, meet with the PTA to inform them what has happened, It is ethically wrong, and think of strategies for other fundraisers in the near future. School policies that need to be developed. Copyright policies need to be established so no more instances like this take place. No material will be distributed to other teachers unless a permission release is sent by the publisher. Until that time, no material is to be shared with other teachers. If there is a license that needs to be purchased, the school district will purchase the necessary license to use in the classroom, like for instance Adobe or Word. Note downloading programs on schools' computers without principal's permission. I hear that our school is invested in the well-being of students, that we will not break the law. Expectations that need to be developed. As a school librarian, Mrs. Lynn should know copyright laws and violations. With being in the media specialist, I mean that should go hand in hand with her job. I would write her up for the copyright violations and also have her personally have her put on a probationary period just to watch her so these instances don't continue. Mrs. Lynn needs to ask the corporate computer company permission before distributing to teachers. Make Mrs. Lynn self-report her violations to the corporate computer company. Mrs. Lynn will be fully responsible for any fines that may result from this. School-based management. This should go hand in hand with informing teachers and other staff and even students about copyright laws, what they can and what they can't do. School-based management decentralizes control from the central district office to individual schools as a way to give school continuities. Principal, teachers, and parents and community members more control over what happens in school. So you're giving them power. Effective principals work to diffuse power throughout the school organization to solidify and increase commitment to the reform, knowledge and skill training. Principals in actively restructuring school-based management schools promote school-wide staff development to improve the capacity of the whole school. Information, the principal's role in information sharing, ways to distribute information liberally and frequently. Rewards. All staff members took on more responsibility and spent more time managing the school under school-based management. The effective principals rewarded people for their efforts. So how are we going to communicate these policies to all the stakeholders? Communicate policies, laws, regulations, and procedures to appropriate school stakeholders. You can have board meetings. This is a great way. In-service meetings for all stakeholders as well. Get the teachers in there. Bring someone in to talk about copyright laws or other policies that you may be struggling in and that you would like to strengthen. Workshops are also great. Orientation, seminars, professional development opportunities, flyers in the school lounge, hallways, classrooms, and other places, district websites, or even email blasts. Monitor and ensure adherence. Large amounts will be from faith. The teachers will not break copyright infringement policies. A lot of it with the principals, I mean, it is just faith-based. You have to believe that you are putting the teachers in a position to succeed, and you fully believe that these teachers will adhere with whatever policies that the school hands down. IT department is able to check teachers' computers to see if any software has been illegally installed. They're able to go through, and also on the school's Wi-Fi. I mean, they are able to see who's getting onto what websites. Involving community members in policy planning. Inviting community members to school board meetings to communicate their thoughts on copyright policies, make a motion to add or to subtract from the school's policy on copyright violations. Student handbook, have something that under the school property, under computer use, that the students not allowed to download pictures, music, or other copyright materials that does not directly relate to class material. Have students and parents sign off on the school handbook. And these are my resources.